Welcome to the Overlady Reads, the show where I, the Overlord, have a wife, the Overlady, who reads. And this week, you've read Arcanum Unbounded.
Yes.
Or is it Unbounded? Is it
Unbounded.
Unbounded.
Yeah.
Cool.
Doesn't even know the name of the book.
What
kind of fan are you?
I know, right? Oh. So yes, Arcanum Unbounded is the short story collection Brandon released, which I believe was also the first time he'd released... was it Edge Dancer in print? You probably don't know the answer to this question.
I think it might be, because obviously Edge Dancer's in here.
Yeah. Like we eventually got our own little print of Edge Dancer, which I love, by the way, because it's adorable.
Yeah, it is.
I love that little book. I might go get it.
Go and get it. Go and get it. Go and get Edge Dancer.
And I fucking love this little book because it is absolutely adorable. That's not so smooth as I was hoping it would be. I love it. You just throw it about.
Do you use it as a coaster as well?
No, I use my Wallbreaker leather bound as a coaster.
Yeah. Still can't believe it.
But yes, without further ado, let's jump straight in. What did you think of the first stories, which were set on Cell, I believe?
Yeah.
Yes. Very quickly, star map, essay. Any thoughts?
I know they were written by Chris.
Yeah.
And I know it's her sort of like travels across the Cosmere.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's lots of like juicy information for you.
There's lots of juicy information for us, yeah.
But like it didn't mean anything to me.
Didn't mean much to you. That's cool. What was the first story then?
So the first story is The Emperor's Soul.
Okay.
I could have done with you giving me a bit more information before I went into Arcanum Unbounded.
Okay.
I didn't realise that the essays were relevant to the stories that followed.
Oh, okay.
I assume they were just randomly scattered through there.
Oh, right, yes.
I didn't realise that The Emperor's Soul took place on Cell.
Yes.
You
thought it was Scadrial.
Right. So because everyone started recommending The Emperor's Soul to me after I finished Mistborn Era 1.
Yeah.
So I assumed that The Emperor's Soul, like Mistborn Secret History, took place on Cell.
Scadrial.
Yeah. And I assumed that it was about, like, it was the backstory for, like, the Lord Ruler.
Oh, because it's The Emperor's Soul.
Yeah. So I started reading it, and I was so confused.
Yeah.
I spent a good, 5-6 pages trying to work out when this took place.
Yeah.
I was like, is this before he took the power?
Yeah.
Is this after he took the power? Is this, after he's had it for 1,000 years and he's getting a bit old?
So you thought this was you thought Emperor Ashraven was
the Lord Ruler?
Fair enough. I know it's Ashravan, but Ashraven is way cooler, and I love the name Ashraven. I think it's a very cool name.
I am very much with you there.
Thank you. That can understandably be confusing.
Yeah, I spent a good portion of the first beginning of this book very confused, trying to work out when this took place in terms of Mistborn.
Yeah. Fair enough.
It's a fun read.
Once you got past that...
Once I sort of ranted to you and you were like, no, it takes place on Cell. It's got nothing to do with Mistborn.
Yeah.
It still didn't make much sense to me.
Okay.
Just because Cell has a couple of magic systems that we've already been introduced to.
Yes.
And I found it weird that this magic system hadn't been referenced.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that it didn't take place on Cell. I wish it took place on one of the other planets.
Yeah.
And one of the more generic stories had taken place on Cell instead. The one with the parrots.
Yeah.
I wish maybe that had taken place on Cell.
Okay.
And
so the reason I don't want to say it's important to Cell, but the reason it doesn't seem to take place anywhere we've seen before and didn't come up is because there's 3 continents on Cell.
Yeah.
You've got the main, the Fjordell where Elantris is.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Little Sea, and then you've got the second continent, which is where Teod is, and I think Barbarian Waste is what the map labels it as or something.
Yeah.
Then we have a third continent, and this takes place on that third continent. And that's why you never see any of the soul stamping and forgery.
Yeah.
Because, it takes place elsewhere.
But I didn't know there was a third continent.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
The map of Cell only has 2 continents.
Yeah.
At which point this would have made sense being set somewhere else.
Yeah. And you do see I want to say you see a Gion at one point.
Yeah, but like...
Yeah, you know? It's not really, yeah.
Yeah, like, it could have been replaced by anything, you know? But anyway, once I got over that...
Yeah.
I did really like the Emperor's Soul. I thought the magic system was really interesting.
Yeah.
I thought the way that they're sort of, like, using her was fascinating.
Yeah.
Like, the whole story takes place of her just sitting in a room.
Yes.
And occasionally talking to a couple of characters.
Yes.
So I quite liked that. Like, I liked how interesting it was, despite the lack of location.
Yeah.
The lack of, like, real character interactions. Like, it was fascinating. And I quite liked reading it in the end.
Good. One thing I really, really like about The Empress Soul is it's a very philosophical piece.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of philosophy of art in there. And there's a lot of stuff that I really like, the stuff that I think about art as well. Like, the whole premise is that you've got this magic system, forgery, which allows you to forge things into things they're not. But then the art of making a forgery is still artistic expression.
Yeah.
And so it's like, why is like forgery, which is just as good as the original art, lesser than the actual art? And it's like, I really like that kind of everything is art kind of philosophy she has. Like, a table can be art. A chair can be... Everything is art.
Yeah.
And it's like... It's something I believe in, and like I really like it.
Yeah. And it was a lovely story.
Yeah.
I just wish I understood it at the beginning.
Just wish you'd got that context was a bit better at the beginning.
Yeah, I wish I'd like sort of understood the background of it first.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the idea was really interesting.
Yeah.
I liked what they did.
Yeah.
I love the fact that she was able to create his entire soul, like his memories, his personality traits, his thoughts on the world.
Yeah.
It was really good.
I really liked that stuff where it's kind of like what makes a person who they are.
Yeah.
Like, it's like how much of you is just your memories, but how much of it is also just your upbringing and like the people around you. And, I really, really love The Empress Soul. I think it's the best thing he's written in terms of like makes me think.
Yeah.
I like stuff that makes me think. And a lot of Brandon's stuff is a little thinky, but it's a lot of actiony.
Yeah.
I really like this. The Empress Soul makes me like sit there and go, man, art, people, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the Empress Soul.
Yeah, it was really good. I loved it.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, Empress Soul.
Yeah.
I like it. Do you want to give it a score out of 10? Let's give them all scores out of 10.
Do you know what? This one I will probably give like a 7.
Excellent. I'm going to give it a 9. I'm going to have them on the screen. So like yours is going to be like here, it's going to say 7, and it's going to say 9 here. Cool. And then we're going to add them up at the end to see what it says. Cool. Which one was next?
And then the next was the second one set on sale.
Yep.
The Hope for Elantris.
Yes.
Got my hopes up when it started with Rhea being like fully restored Elantrian,
Serene.
No. The
Aeon? Sion, sorry.
Sion.
Yeah.
The Sion being like, Serene's pregnant, so it's taking her a while to get here. I was so excited. I was expecting like a lovely little like love story between them, being
it's like they go on a date or something like that. Or
well, like I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting that maybe like something happened to Elantris and they saved it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it did, but that's
already
not
saved
the point.
It, yeah.
I don't know. I was hoping that like maybe their baby arrived and like it was something special.
And they called it like the Aeon for hope or something. The child was the hope for Elantris. Yeah.
And then it turned into a story about what the Sion did.
Yeah.
During the Elantris.
Yeah. Uprising, revolution, siege. Yeah.
The bad stuff that happened.
The bad stuff.
I absolutely loved the Hope for Elantris.
Oh, right.
It wasn't what I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
But it was a lovely story about the girl saving the children.
Yeah.
Because obviously when we had the bonfire at in Elantris when everyone was gathered together.
They were trying to burn all of the
Elantrians were put into a big old pile, and we didn't see the children.
Yes.
So I'm quite glad that they weren't like in the middle of the pile.
Yeah.
They had been put somewhere safe, and it was lovely, like the story of how they rescued them.
Aww.
Yeah, it was a really sweet little story. I really appreciated it.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. What would you rate The Hope for Elantris?
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to give that one like an 8.
Damn, nice.
Yeah.
I was going to say, my memory of The Hope for Elantris is I read it a long time after I read Elantris, which is probably a mistake. And I remember it being nice, but like not anything special. So I think I'm going to go for like a 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Like it was better than good. It was like good. It was okay.
Yeah.
It was, awesome.
Cool.
What's next?
We get to the Scadrial system.
Yes.
A nice opportunity to have another little mini Vin story.
Oh, yeah.
No
Vin stories allowed.
No Vin. Why?
Yeah. I really like the Scadrial essay. I know you don't really remember any of them. But this one talks a lot about how the planet was made by ruin and preservation, and like there's no like asteroids in the system, which I always interpreted as they used the mass from the asteroids to create the planet, because Chris says like the solar system is surprisingly clear of anything else, and I always interpret that means they used the mass from everything else to it turns out that wasn't explicit, and I always assumed it was explicit that was happened.
Okay.
But they made that planet there on like there's no moons, there's no thing. And it's cool. I like it. What was the stories on Scadrial?
The first one was the 11th Metal.
Oh, yes.
Which I was really excited for.
Were you?
Because obviously it was the story of Calcia being trained as a Mistborn.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
I don't like 11th Metal either. It's really not bad, just...
It was essentially Vin's training scene.
Yeah.
But with Calcia.
Yeah.
And he acted the same way that Vin does. Like, he wasn't Calcia.
Yeah.
Like...
This is way before, Not even way before. This is only a few months before, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think when he left the pits.
It was... when he first learns to be a Mistborn.
Yeah, from Gemma.
So it's quite soon after he leaves the pits. I'm not too sure where it is timeline wise.
Yeah.
But obviously before he went into the pits, we know that Calcia was Calcia.
Yeah.
And Calcia has always been that personality.
Yeah.
But then in this he was Vin.
Yeah, he was just that trainee newbie.
Yeah, he wasn't confident in anything. He was quite Calcia just didn't act as I would expect Calcia to act. You can still be a trainee and be kind of
yourself.
Yeah.
I think this was very similar to your complaint about Szeth in Oathbringer. That once someone enters a training montage, they kind of
revert back to being a child.
Yeah.
And
oh, bye, cat.
I feel like he just lost his personality.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
From him. And even fighting the Mistborn, he seemed to lack confidence in himself.
Yeah.
So I didn't enjoy the 11th Medal
that's fair.
I wanted to.
It was written for the Mistborn adventure game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of just almost a footnote.
Well, it spends more time explaining how the metals work.
Yeah.
And teaching how
metals
act.
Yeah.
Than actually having a story.
Yeah, they just chase each other to the metallurgist.
I'm pretty sure you could have cut the Vin training montage.
Yeah.
And just stuck it in its place and
that would have been fine. Yeah, yeah. I don't like the 11th Metal. I think it's just a bit boring because, like you said, because it's part of the Mistborn adventure game because it's supposed to be something you read as you're reading the rulebook if you don't know anything about Mistborn, and so it's supposed to teach you the metals. But it's someone who already knows the metals. All it is it's a rehash, and then Gemmel's. It's cool seeing Gemmel.
Yeah, but I was expecting them to have to go to some strange land and maybe defeat some monster to find the medal.
Yeah.
And then when they literally just walk into someone's house and take it.
Yeah.
Like, for me, the mystery of how he came across the 11th medal.
I just remembered you had a theory while reading Mistborn that he got it from the Southern Scadrians, didn't
you?
Yeah, you were like...
But that's what I mean. Like, my theories about how the 11th medal appeared were so much more interesting than the reality of it.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was too hyped up.
Yeah. I don't think it was... I don't know if anyone hyped it up for you. I definitely didn't try to hype it up for you.
No, but like a lot of people were like, you should really read the 11th medal. Oh, it's really good. It's really good. And then it just...
It's just, eh.
Yeah, like I was expecting like some cool like exotic island where they like came across some like weird dragon like creatures or something.
Oh my god, this isn't Roshar with Amia.
I know, but that's what I mean. Like I was expecting... something.
You just wanted something more than it actually was.
And it was just, let's break into the guy's house and just pick it up off the table.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think I'm
interested to know how that guy came across the 11th
I know,
medal.
Right? I think what's interesting is... Yeah, because it was made of atium, wasn't it? So it's gold and atium. I don't know if you know this.
No, I don't.
Yeah, it's gold and atium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We call
that's what I mean. I didn't know what the 11th medal was. I was expecting to...
learn a bit more about it.
Yeah.
So we got this from the rules in the Mistborn Adventure game. So it's called malatium is what we call it. And it's gold, but for some reason the 80-minute kind of reverses. Instead of it being a internal pushing, it becomes an external pushing. I can't remember whether it was pushing and pulling.
That's fine.
And so instead of seeing your own shadow, you see someone else's shadow.
Yeah.
And so it kind of implies that if you alloyed atium with other metals, you could potentially like reverse those effects, which is why you've got the 60 metals and then you've got atium, and then that turns the 60 metals into 32 metals because you then got every atium alloy. And then Lerasium alloys are super boring because they just make you a mystic.
Yeah.
I hate Lerasium alloys. They're the most boring. Brandon could have come up with something better than that. One thing that I think was interesting is that Gemmel is very clearly insane and being influenced by Ruin. And well, I mean, I don't know if you... Obviously, it doesn't completely confirm he's influenced by Ruin, but it's pretty obvious he's influenced by Ruin.
Yeah.
Which is like, so is Ruin had... That's how these characters got into these positions, is Ruin, put them there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So what do you rate it? You can rate it 1 or 2. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay, same.
Cool. Excellent. Right. Next story. What is it?
Alamancy Jack.
Oh yes, Alamancer Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of Alamancer Jack? I think it's funny when he licks the walls.
It felt like right.
Yeah.
So watching BoJack Horseman.
Yes.
There's that reporter character who like acts all old timey, a white dress.
Yes.
Like talks like she has that like old Hollywood accent, and she talks really fast.
Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about.
I felt like that was the story.
It's this character from BoJack Horseman.
But like the whole story gave me that kind of vibe.
Yeah, old timey kind of.
Old timey Hollywood, fast pace.
Yeah.
Nothing really happens.
Yeah.
Kind of feel to it.
Well, it sounds like he hit exactly what he was going for, because I'm pretty sure that's exactly what he was going for.
I wasn't too happy about the fact that the Colossus are still using spikes to make more Colossus. Because Szeth gave them the ability to give birth, which he didn't give
to the
Kandra. So I didn't think that it was fair that they were still using spikes.
I'm trying to remember the exact way it works, but I believe they don't have to have the spikes.
Yeah.
If they have a child, the child is half Kolos, half human.
Yeah.
Is Kolos-blooded. And then you get the spikes if you want to become a full Kolos.
Yeah,
but they don't really do that very often anymore.
Yeah, but why?
Yeah.
Like, they were given the ability to give birth.
Yeah.
Like, there was no need for Colossus to be a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Because, Kandra still can't give birth. Szeth didn't treat his own people.
Yeah.
Like...
I think I don't mind it. Like, they've kind of got their own culture. They've got their own thing going on. They're trying to live as, because they're Kolos, right?
Yeah.
And then they were turned into like more human Kolos. But at the end of the day, they're still like Kolos is part of like who they are.
Yeah.
And so they're not going to be like, oh, we can breed humans. Let's just breed ourselves out of existence. They're like, no, we're still Kolos. Let's keep our traditions and yeah.
But by putting spikes in themselves, they make themselves dumb.
Yeah.
Like, they literally turn into the Parshendi doll form.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they willingly do that when they have better forms of power.
Yeah, I think I need to go back and read it to remember exactly how it works. I probably should have gone back and read it. It's not a very long book, is it?
I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, you didn't really like Alamancer Jack, did you?
No.
I didn't think you would. It's if Era 2's not your thing, Alamancer Jack is definitely not your thing.
Yeah, no. I would never reread that.
No. I thought it was funny. I like the part where he licks the walls. Because yeah. That's the only thing I remember. I remember he runs into some Kolos, there's a funny lady commentary, and he licks from walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, it's one of the ones online where everyone like hyped it up.
Yeah.
So I was expecting more from it.
Fair enough.
And then it just wasn't.
Yeah.
And that could have been a lovely story about Vin instead.
I'm going to give it a 5. I'm going to give it a... Actually, no. I'm going to give it a 6. I'm going to put it at the same level as
okay.
Hope for Elantris.
I'm going to give it a 2.
Wow! Nice!
It's the only story in there where I wouldn't read it again.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, even the 11th medal I would give another go to.
Yeah.
I genuinely can't read that again.
Fair enough. I found it very entertaining. But then I think I'm like the target audience of just like...
I'm not the target audience.
Yeah.
As much as I would love to be, I'm not.
Yeah.
And I can't change that.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. What's next?
Mistborn Secret History.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Easy.
I'll give it an 8.
You give it an 8? Cool.
Yeah.
Moving on. We already talked about Secret History in the Era 2 video.
Yeah.
Find it here in the description.
We then get to the
Taldane
system.
Yes.
This was the White Sand section.
Yes.
It angered me beyond belief. Because I read on the Kindle, it means that I got a Kindle version of this Arcanum Unbounded.
Yeah.
Now, it would be great, but this is what it looks like on the Kindle version.
Yeah.
You can't
zoom in.
You can't zoom into the picture, and you can't really read the text at all. So it's essentially unreadable on Kindle.
Yeah.
So I made up my own story.
Excellent.
I'm not a storyteller.
But let's go for it.
Yeah. So I made up my own story for it. I then got to the end of White Sands and realised that at the end of it...
There's like a prose version.
There is a prose version. At that point, I was too angry to read it, so I refused.
Okay, cool.
I have decided that this is Szeth's backstory.
Excellent.
So this is Szeth as a child, learning to use magic for the first time. He's not as good as everyone else because obviously the protagonist has to be terrible to begin with. The other children humiliate him by how awful he is, and like the old men around him are like, you're doing really badly, you're awful.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm child Szeth, I will prove that I can do this and I am truthful.
Okay.
So then we cut to adult Szeth. It can be just as unreadable for them as it is for me. Because you can't zoom into the picture. It doesn't get bigger. Like this is what you're stuck with. It's not even half the screen. So then we fast forward to adult Szeth, who can now use his sand magic powers.
Yep.
So he's traveling along the shadowed plains, playing with his magic.
Oh yeah, because there's great shells.
Playing with his magic.
Yep.
And then, as he's doing his Wind Runner stuff, I'm sorry, there's a lot of Wind Runner just moving around.
Yeah.
he then encounters a chasm fiend.
Yeah.
And then he fights the chasm fiend. And the chasm fiend looks cool. Like, it's a really cool monster.
They are cool, yes.
I've decided that it's like a dragon type.
That's fine. It's a dragon type
chasm
fiend.
So then he's fighting it with Nightblood, hence the swirly smoke that isn't smoke. And then he's joined by the other Skybreakers who want to come and help him fight. And then they fight the chasm fiend. And then he goes to stab the chasm fiend in the head, but then uses his magic surge binding on it instead.
Okay.
And then he defeats the chasm fiend.
Yep.
And everyone's like, wow, Szeth, you're so cool. You're truthful now and you can come back to Shin. That's the end.
That's basically, other than the name's wrong, that's White Sand.
And then you get the prose version, which...
But you were just too annoyed at this point.
Yeah, I feel like if the writing had come first and then it'd been like, this is what it looked like in the comic book afterwards.
Yeah.
Would have fixed my issues with White Sands. But instead you made me sit through like 10 pages of unreadable comic book, and then we're like, here's the story. Like, no, you should have given me the story
first, and
then given me the comic book, because now I'm so angry that I refuse to read it.
Yes, I was going to say...
it gave me a long prologue, and then it gave me the prose version.
Yeah. No. I think we've talked about potentially doing White Sand, like the full graphic novel.
I'm too angered by it now.
You refuse to do it now? Cool. Never mind. So we're never going to do we're never going to do White Sand.
Eric, you wanted me to rant about White Sand. You're welcome. That's all you're going to get from me.
You'll never get to know the joy of the boombox and the fan.
Zev doesn't need a boombox.
Cool. What's next? Oh, so
we need to rate it.
Oh yeah, we need to rate it. I rate it a haven't read it out of 10.
I'm gonna rate it a 1 because my storytelling is not great.
So before we move on, Taldane essay is super interesting because does it say what the shard in Taldane is?
Yes.
It's autonomy.
Yes.
Held by Bavadin.
Yes.
And autonomy is super interesting because we don't know what that means.
It's
like
autonomy lets you do whatever you want.
But like, does it let you do whatever you want, or does it like do whatever it wants? Yeah, we don't know what it means. And also, here's the thing: is if it's like a magic system that lets you do what it wants, right? Does that mean you can't use it to make other people do what you want? Because otherwise, you'd be. Autonomy is a weird one. I can't remember if that one mentions avatars yet. I can't remember if avatars have been mentioned. Cool. I'm going to take that reaction as a no. But yes, it will have Chris in it eventually. So if you ever do get interested in Chris, we can read it then. Cool. What's next?
I don't think I'll ever be interested enough in Chris for that. Sorry.
What about if Yasna and Chris start dating though? Which is clearly the best ship in the world.
But I've just shipped her with Ash, and that's way superior.
I mean,
a Radiant and a Herald.
Would their ship be Yashna? It would be. That's excellent.
Ashna.
Yashna.
Yeah, Ashna.
Cool. What is next?
Shadows for Silence in the Forest of Hell.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a good story. So this is set on the Threnody system.
Yeah.
Where something called the Evil has taken over the main continent, and they're living on like a colony on like another continent.
So Odium was here.
You reckon Odium was here?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, of course we know Odium's in there. It's in the essay, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't remember the essay.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I believe a shard was wounded or killed nearby.
It would have been killed. Odium's not going to leave them alive.
Yeah, I believe that was Ambition.
Yes.
But yeah, and so something
Odium
called the
was
Evil.
Here.
Yeah, I like the Evil because I said this recently in a Shardcast, but out of everything in the Cosmere, Brandon, this is the thing that Brandon has called the Evil.
Yeah,
and like, what does that mean? Like, what could be that evil? I'm looking forward to. I want to know what the evil is. So, Shadows for Silence in the Forest of Hell.
Yeah. So Silence is like running an inn, and she bounty hunts to get money to survive and to keep her way stop open.
Yeah.
And the way this place works is that there's like when people die, shadows of them remain, and like
shades.
Yeah. They're there all day, all night, but at nighttime is when you can see them, and like they've got glowing green eyes.
Yeah.
And if you kill someone, they will immediately come for you.
Is it kill someone or shed blood?
Shed blood.
Yes.
But they will come for you.
Yeah.
And they will eat you.
Yeah. What's the rules? It's don't start fires. I think I remember that one.
Well, they're sort of like drawn to light.
They're drawn to light, so don't start fires. Yeah. Don't run, because they're also drawn to movement. Are they drawn to noise? I want to say don't make too much noise.
Yeah.
And definitely don't shed blood, because that makes them go insane. Like, crazy attack. Yeah.
It was really good.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, and like they're defeated by using silver, like the old like werewolf kind of like.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I absolutely love fairy tales and like old fashioned literature.
Oh yeah.
It gave me like such a like old Poland Russian fairy tale feel.
Yeah.
Like it was really good. And I'm quite upset that we haven't got more. Like, I could definitely read, like, fairy tales set on this planet.
Excellent.
Like,
I do.
So good.
It was. I really like Shadows for Silence. I do think we do have another book. He wants to write another book, but the book would be going back to the mainland and investigating the evil. It wouldn't be about the forest, unfortunately.
I like fairy tale.
I know you like fairy tale stuff. Yeah, it's a very fairy tale forest, like, but like evil fairy tale, not like the happy fairy tales. I was going to
say, like, it reminds me of like a Brothers Grimm style fairy tale, like an actual one,
like an actual Brothers Grimm. Yeah,
like the nursery rhymes you sing to your children about death and destruction.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it.
I loved it.
Fun fact: back when Secret History, when Kelsier first meets up with Chris and Naz, Naz is like, "How are you here? You haven't gone through the proper rites from Threnody."
Yeah.
So it seems that the shades and becoming like a cognitive shadow that can stick about. There's something. Cool. Yeah, the shades are like cognitive shadows have stuck about, so they're kind of like what Kelsier was. What would you rate Shadows for Silence then?
Oh, I'm giving that like a 9.
Oh, excellent. Cool.
It was really good.
I'm going to give it an 8.
Yeah, if Brandon can write like a short story collection where it's just like old-timey feeling fairy tales, I would love that.
Yeah.
I would be so up for that, like especially if like there's artwork in there.
Yeah.
Like yeah, that's what I need.
Yeah. Fun fact about silver as well. Originally, Brandon wanted tin in Alamancy to be silver because he really liked the name Silver Eyes. We've got Tin Eye, but like he really liked Silver Eyes as like a name, but he said he couldn't fit silver into the table. Yeah, and so he went with that's why he went with tin. And he's wanted to put silver in the Cosmere as something at some point. And so that's why he put silver in there, because he's like, I wanted to use silver in there. There's also the bracelet in Oathbringer. When they go to the cognitive realm, they go searching and they find a weapon shop, and the weapon shop has like weapons, but then one of the weapons, the most expensive weapon, is just a silver chain. Oh, okay. And people theorize that it's either aluminium or it's a chain from Threnody.
Yeah, that's cool.
We might have a wobble on that, but I can't remember.
Next one is the Dromenard system.
Dromenard, yeah.
Dromenard system.
And I cannot remember anything from this essay. If there was important things in this essay, I don't remember what they are.
It is the Szeth of Dusk.
Yes.
So it's essentially like a guy who has a parrot.
Yep. Excuse me, he has 2 parrots?
Sorry, he's got 2 parrots.
Yeah.
And he's travelling through a jungle and he comes across some invading people.
Yeah.
And they've all been killed. And then he finds a woman that was with them that hadn't been killed. And so he takes her back to his house.
Yeah.
And then the parrots start going crazy because her people have brought some weird device that's going to destroy the place.
Yeah.
So then they go to get to her people before they use the machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think?
It was alright.
Cool. There's a lot. Yeah.
I didn't understand why it was here.
Okay.
Like, I get that it's a short story that Brandon has written.
Yeah.
But, like, it didn't really have any, like, magic to it.
So you've kind of got the AVR system. So the system, but the AVRs, the birds.
Yeah, but, like,
they
birds that can
grant powers.
Grant 1 power
per bird.
Per bird.
Yeah.
But the bird is the one that uses the powers. The people don't.
Well, the bird lets the person use the power.
It lets the person see what they're doing.
Yeah.
But the bird is using the power.
The bird is the one using the power. Yes.
So, like, I didn't understand what the point of the humans being there was.
Because people are the core of a story. I mean, this could have been like a just a bird story about birds being birds.
I would have been fine with that.
So there's a couple of things in here. So firstly, I think it's just showing another way that investiture can manifest in a system.
Yeah.
Like, it's just showing a cool magic system. But you know, Brandon likes birds. You've been watching his live streams with me.
Yeah, I know he's got parrots.
He's got a parrot. He really likes parrots, and so he wanted to have a parrot magic system.
I like parrots.
Yeah.
The parrot magic system is fine.
Yeah.
I just wish that there was more to it.
Yeah.
Like, the whole 1 bird does 1 power.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. I just wish that
we got to see more powers.
Yeah.
Because we only see 2. There's the seeing your imminent death.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? I can't remember the other one. I want to say it's like life sense or something like that. Like, you can detect when people are nearby or something.
Yeah. I don't know, like, it just didn't feel magical enough for me. It just felt like a trek through the jungle.
Yeah.
Like, there just wasn't enough to it for me.
Couple of other things. Do you know who else has been spotted with a parrot in the Cosmere?
Yeah, Mraize.
Yeah, Mraize has an AVR.
I mean, he's got a chicken.
He's got a chicken. This has always bothered me. Mraize's chicken has always bothered me. Because he is like a sneaky guy, right?
Yeah.
He's trying to be sneaky.
He's got a bright green bird.
But he's got a bright green bird. And like, and then if he goes to another job, people are going to be like, oh, look, it's the guy with the bright green bird. Like,
I guess, because obviously they assume it's a bird from Shinovar.
Yeah.
So I can only assume that maybe there are more people that walk around with birds from Shinovar. We just haven't.
I don't know. Like,
yeah,
it seems.
Plus, he does like send it off to like
do things. Yeah.
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 So it's not with him all the time. So I guess when he is like sneaking around being like Sadius's bodyguard.
No, that's when he has it. He has it when he's Eli's bodyguard.
Yeah, but
like, he's got it in the room with him.
But maybe there are other times when he doesn't have it, and it's just like an occasional thing.
Maybe.
Or maybe it's one of those cases where like people can't see it.
Maybe, and only Shallan can see it for some reason. Maybe.
Maybe it's because she's like been to Shadesmar or something.
Yeah. She had been to Shadesmar. Oh no, she had, because when she dropped into the beads. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There we go.
What was the other thing?
Sense.
The ones above the villains, the guys who bring the machine. That makes the things. Any theories on that?
I mean, I assume that they're like a more advanced race.
Yeah.
Maybe sent by Odium.
Okay. Do you want to know something fun about Sixth of Dusk, the story? It is the furthest story in the Cosmere timeline we've got. It is by far the furthest story in the Cosmere timeline. We're talking.
That's why I don't like it.
There you go, because it's a sci-fi story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, this is what I mean. Like books where like technology is the basis behind them. Just don't interest me in any way.
Okay. Yeah, and so the big current going theory is that it's the Scadrians.
Yeah.
It's people from Scadrial with their spaceships. That's why the ones above, because they're above in the sky in their spaceships.
That makes sense.
I think that's the only kind of theory we've got right now, because we don't know anyone else who becomes spacefaring. Like, we know the Scadrians will, because Brandon's pretty open about that.
Yeah.
About Era 4 being a space opera. But we don't know who else will be spaceships. And what's next? Oh, wait, what do you rate Sixth of Dusk?
Let's go with a 5.
Go with a 5? That's fine.
Yeah, like it wasn't. It was a well-written story.
Yeah.
And I quite enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah.
I was just struggling to see where it
was going.
Well, where it fit in with having a magic system. I remember really liking it at the end, and like it sort of like leaves it open for a sequel.
Yes.
So I am wondering if there's going to be a sequel to it.
I wonder that as well. I don't think he's ever mentioned one, but maybe there will be one.
Because like, again, like I'd read it again.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is This is the one where I started off like really hating it.
Yeah.
And by the end I was quite invested and I wanted to see where it was going.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So yeah, I would definitely like want a sequel to it.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah. Cool. I'm gonna give it a 7 because I liked it. Didn't like it as much as Shadows for Silence, but I definitely liked it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then we get to the Rosharian system.
The Rosharian system, yes. And I realised in a conversation with you before you'd read this that you didn't realise that Braze and Ashen were in the same solar system.
No.
Yeah, and I can't remember if we had this conversation on video.
Because you don't find
that out until
the epilogue.
Yeah, the essay and the start. Yeah. But yeah.
I now know there's 3 planets in the system.
And 10 gas giants. Which is too many gas giants.
1 for each herald.
Yes, but that's too many gas giants.
Oh my god, the shard's like the number 10.
So
you have to let me like number 10.
To balance 10 gas giants. I've tried in Universe Simulator to balance 10 gas giants and 3 planets and those 3 goddamn moons.
Cultivation likes the number 10. Honor likes the number 3. You just have to deal with it. I know how much you hate that.
I was going to say at the very least it's the other way round.
Well, no, because Honor's the one where it's in freeze.
No, Honor's the one where it's in 10s. There's 10 Knights Radiant. But then the Knights Radiant were a combination of 10 of Honor and Conservation. So yes, there's not really much to talk about here because other than the...
it's just Edge Dancer.
It's just Edge Dancer. We've already talked about Edge Dancer, so Edge Dancer's another 10 because I really like Edge Dancer.
I'll go with an 8.
Nice.
Lift annoyed me towards the end.
Did she?
Yeah, too much Lift.
It's all Lift.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, Lift is the sort of personality that it works well for a child.
Yeah.
But too much child is like...
Yeah, too much.
Too much. I needed some adult time by the time I finished
Fair
Edge
enough.
Dancer.
She gave Nail a hug. Nail had some adult time.
No, like, I love Lift in small doses.
Yeah.
But after a while, her personality grates on me.
Yeah.
Especially when it's not offset by something.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go for an 8.
Cool. Excellent. Well, that was Arcanum Unbounded.
Yeah.
I think we're going to, hopefully one day we'll get a second where he's got some other short stories he wants to write.
I would love, between books 5 and 6 of Stormlight, I'd love another short story collection.
Yeah.
I would love one with Vin. Maybe like Vin before she became like a Mistborn.
Yeah.
Like just sort of like going about her street business. Or maybe like Vin and Elend managed to have like a happy moment between all of the fighting and maybe we finally get to see that.
Yeah.
You know.
Or like he already named them AU, so just have them be an alternate universe where Vin and Elend got a happy family and grew up.
Don't. Or, you know, maybe they found a way to come back. Yeah. I know he doesn't want them to, but maybe they found a way to come back.
Yeah.
And now they're living happily in Roshar and we'll finally get to encounter them. Look, every now and then, a character appears in Roshar that matches Vin's description.
Eotil is the biggest troll.
Yes.
Like, because she's not only, like, she's also from Scadrians, she's descended from Scadrians.
Yeah.
And so it's like...
it's really irritating.
Yeah.
And like, when Steris was putting together the wedding invites for their wedding, she was like, oh, Wax, who do you want to invite? And he was like, just put Venture down for me. Why? Why do you keep doing this to me?
Which Venture? Who? Probably like a caves venture. Like
no, because they all died.
Yeah.
The only ventures that were left were Elend and Vin. At which point they lived and they had children.
Small branching family, you know.
No, like, stop teasing me.
It's okay. I'll keep teasing you. Don't worry.
No, I'm talking about Brandon.
Yeah, I know. Brandon
Brandon
can stop teasing you, but I'm going to keep teasing you.
No, like I just need more Mistborn, but good Mistborn.
But good Mistborn, right? I mean, there's a year between each book, so like you could have short stories set between the books.
This is what I need.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We're getting real close to Rhythm of War, so like, hope you're excited. Smash that like and subscribe button. And comment down below what your favorite Arcanum Unbounded story was and what you'd like to see from Arcanum Unbounded 2. So yeah, follow us on 17shard.com, follow us on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Discord, because you can talk to us there. Put your Switch friend code in the comment section and I'll add you. I won't really. Patreon, we have one of those. Give us money to fund the 17th Shard conglomerate. And with the Shardcast and the Coppermind and the Arcanum. And then that's everything. That's all, folks. Bye.